So my name is Sunday Yabi, as you have heard. I'm a man that wears many hats. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we can see your screen.
All right. So first of all, I'm the um, I'm the managing director of Primus Global Solutions. It's a group of companies that encompasses an agro-allied subsidiary, a content creation subsidiary, and an e-commerce subsidiary, right? And as you have heard earlier on, I'm the founder of Seven Figure Pen Millionaire Academy. And basically what we do here is to, in the academy, is to train writers and help them sell their gifts in exchange for hard currency in the international market. And that's not all. Somewhere down the line in the next quarter, we're going to be adding a YouTube podcast where we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with property and freelancing. So basically focusing on real estate and freelancing. I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a content creator, and I'm a passionate business builder and a writer. And I have done close to $30,000 from freelancing alone, from freelance writing alone. So the question you might be asking, is this guy here to brag tonight? Why did I share all that with you? So I basically shared all that to tell you that it's possible to make a living and to create serious income flow as a writer. And you can do that and succeed. And just in case writing is not something you want to spend the rest of your life doing, you can create a serious income flow from writing and then channel the money into something else you want to pivot to. So writing is a blessing. I must tell you the fact. Writing is a blessing to Africans. And but before we go into tonight's deal, let me tell you how I started. So I'm married. I'm married and I have two kids, a boy and a girl. My first child was born in 2020, April of 2020, just around the time when the pandemic was, the lockdowns were announced and everything was bad. Unfortunately, I used to be I worked for an NGO. I had some organizations I floated, basically NGOs and charity organizations. And I was earning a salary at the time of about 25,000. But then my wife put to bed, there was a lockdown, people couldn't go to work, everything was crazy. And I started thinking, what do I do? How do I solve the problem? Have a wife with a newborn baby, hospital bills were piling. So that was how I started Primus Global Solutions. And I had to start selling the things I knew online. I started teaching, I'm a sales expert, marketing expert. I know a lot of things, but I basically just apply them here and there and I get paid peanuts to do that. So I started thinking, how am I going to do this in such a way that I can, make something tangible from it? So I started my business in 2020 during the pandemic, just immediately after my first son was born. And I basically made almost no money in that first year, maybe 20K, 20K here, 10K there. I made almost no money, right? And so fast forward, I pivoted into the agro-allied space. I made huge money, but they were all basically revenue, very little profit. We did over 50 million 2021 to 2022, but very little revenue. So in 2022, December specifically 2022, I got started with writing. So I got my first client in December 2022. Amazingly, I made 50,000 naira in December. Now the difference was, In 2020, I made little money here and there, 10K, 20K. In 2021, I made 50 million in revenue, but very little profit. But in 2022 December, when I received my first paycheck from writing, I received my first paycheck. It was 50K, and the entire 50K was pure profit. It was not revenue. I didn't have to, stock up my shop. I didn't have to pay suppliers. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I could use the entire money I made 100%, knowing fully well that I'm going to receive another, paycheck in a matter of weeks or, days. So fast forward to 2023, I scaled from 50,000 naira to 5.5 million naira of pure profits in writing, just writing alone in 2023. And the funny thing was that I did all of this without a laptop, right? Where I did every of these things without a laptop. And, in 2024, we did close to about $18,000 or $19,000, which is, crazy. So, and we are in 2025. So just imagine how, the trajectory has gone from making very little to seeing large sums of money, but none of that could go into your pocket. You are basically just trading and working for other people and going to a place where you can have 5.5 million, $10,000, $15,000, $18,000 in pure revenue. That is exactly what writing did for me. Okay. So that brings me to talk about the hidden opportunities that exist in the writing space. I want you to consider this, all right? 82% of Western businesses rely on content to drive their sales. 82%, right? Unfortunately, there aren't enough writers in the Western world that helps to, shall we say, fulfill that demand. So it's a huge market, okay? It's a huge market, and they need a lot of people to fill that role. But the crazy thing is that there are lots of writers, people who write for Rotary Club, you write for your local school magazine, you write, basically almost every one of us here writes. Maybe you are writing Facebook or social media posts, you write every day. But the crazy thing is that you don't get paid for your writing. I'm hoping that by the end of this webinar, you will have taken the steps required to change all of that so that you can also have a pie, have a slice of that, mighty pie that is waiting out there untapped. So here are the opportunities, right? There are basically three broad opportunities when it comes to writing. Like I said, number one is low manpower. And I said that 82% of, Western companies rely on content to drive their sales. But the sad thing is that 63% of US small and medium scale businesses lack the budget or staff to produce content consistently. So you might say, if they lack the budget, why am I even bothering to go into that sector? Here's the difference. So what a Western business calls, low revenue or low pay is what we actually call big pay here in Africa, which takes me to my second point, right? Why this is an opportunity. So, and that is talking about costly talent. So in the US, in Canada, in UK, you can't pay somebody $50 to write you, a blog post or maybe a YouTube script or a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post. You can't pay somebody $50 to do that. That's insulting money. That's very small money. But the point is, $50 is actually 80,000 naira in Nigeria. So if you write a 1,000 word article and you are paid 80,000 naira, that's a lot of opportunity. That's a lot of money. Now, if you write 10 of those articles in a month, that's 800,000 naira. So you can begin to see how it's possible to do $10,000 in a year, $20,000 in a year, even $15,000, $35,000, $50,000 in a year. Right? It's very, very easy to see how we can do that from Africa. The reason is because those low-paying jobs are being rejected in the Western world. Those guys, they can't do that. So if you are trying to get an American writer to write you a blog post, you are probably looking somewhere in the region of $200 to $250 per post. Some even charge as much as $300. But something that an American will write for $250, a Nigerian will gladly take $50 to write that, because $50 is basically 80K. Now waiting they pursue you. My own, I know say 80K fee 80K fee solve small problem for me. I've been a liar talk. Right? You understand what I'm trying to say, guys?
You're right.
80K can do a lot for me. And that goes a lot further if we put in the compounding effect to that. So, and that takes me to my third point, which is the opportunity there, which is what we call diverse content. Okay, Western brands need diverse voices to reach global audiences, but local writers often lack the cultural depth to deliver on this. Now, if you notice what's happening recently, Western countries, Western businesses are trying to break into African market. They are trying to make content that appeal to the African market, especially the Nigerian market. For instance, if you notice, maybe last year or 2 years ago, how many of you noticed that, what's this guy's name? Josh Trufoni was on America's Got Talent, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Now, that guy didn't go there because he was competing for any trophy or he was competing for any prize. No, it was a publicity stunt. Okay. The point is, anything that comes to Nigeria goes viral. I work on the YouTube space. I've written several, I can't count. I think I've written thousands of scripts, and I've written several viral YouTube videos. I mean, 2 million views and above. Okay, so I know what works. I know what ticks, the boxes when it comes to going viral. And if anything works, Nigeria works, Africa works. If you get, how many of you know Kerry Washington, Nicki Minaj? Recently, we saw that Nicki Minaj made a post on her, is it Twitter or IG, in Pidgin. Why do you think they are doing all those things? They are doing it because they know it will resonate with the African audience. It will resonate with the Nigerian audience, right? So they are doing that to cash out big. But the problem is, you can't give an American writer, a project that's going to resonate heavily with the African or Nigerian market. It's just not going to work. They are going to flop the project, right? So you want to look for an indigenous writer, somebody who gets the culture, someone who understands the language, someone who understands what's trending in Nigeria, what's trending in Africa. And that's where you and I come in. So that already puts you at an advantage. They are going to pick you even over an American writer, to write content like this. One of the things that has given my company an edge, all right? I'm a Christian, and I used to work in, religious circles, and I understand perfectly. I understand the Bible. I understand Bible languages. One of the ways our company was able to pivot was to go for the jobs in, in Netherlands, in Europe. Europe is increasingly becoming Islamized now. If you go to Netherlands, if you go to Greece, if you go to some of this country, you will discover that the percentage of Muslims are growing in those areas. So most of the creators in those areas who want to create content around the rapture, around the end of days, Christian theology, can't really find writers who can do that well. And one of the things that God helped me to do was to position my brand, position our company to get some of these jobs, because I have an in-depth knowledge about the Bible. I have in-depth knowledge about eschatology and end of these things. And so we're able to position our brands where many companies could not take those jobs. We position ourselves to sweep the entire, almost everything in that sector. So if you go to YouTube, you see lots of content about the end of days, the rapture, what does a Donald Trump's second term presidency mean? Why is Donald Trump the only president, the only American president whose name appears in the Bible? What does that mean? So I understand all these things. But many of those writers who are Muslims, who are Hindus, who are, atheists, can't position for that. But there's something that goes further beyond that. People want to know about the end of days. People want to know if the world is coming to an end or not. People want to know if our world is going to get destroyed or not. You see, I have that knowledge. I have that opportunity. It's something that's trending on YouTube. It's something trending around the world. I positioned myself and we got most of those jobs. So you can see that there's a vast opportunity for writers in our day. And I know people say AI is taking over everything. Boy, that's not true. I can tell you for a fact, AI is not taking over, writing jobs, at least not now. So you find out that if you go to YouTube, many content that are AI generated, I'm talking about scripts that are AI generated, don't perform well. They don't perform well, I can tell you, because I do that. That's my job. Okay, the reason is because AI just doesn't understand human psychology. AI does not know what makes people think. Okay, you may know how to write a book, you may know how to write an essay, but you don't know how to grab attention, you don't know how to retain attention, and you don't know how to whip up engagement. I'm a master in those things. When it comes to that, I'll beat AI any day. So if I sit down with Grok or ChatGPT or anything to use AI to create my script, I will do it with a better understanding because I know how it works. I know the prompts to give AI. I know what to tell the machine in such a way, to do in such a way that it will write a script that is that seems original to the ear and moves human emotion. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Are you guys with me, or have I lost you guys?
Yes,
Am I speaking to the right
yes,
audience?
yes, we
Yeah,
are with
yeah,
you. We are
yes,
with you. We are
absolutely.
following.
Amazing. So these are several opportunities that are bound for an eye in writing. So the question is, why is content writing a smart choice, right? Why is content writing a smart choice? Number one, like I said earlier on, there's a low barrier to entry with global demand. So the demand is huge and the barrier to entry is low. All you need is your skill, a mobile phone, and enough data on your phone. I don't think any one of us can't afford that right now. Everybody here on this call already has what it takes to become a content writer. Number one, if you post content on Instagram, Facebook, that means you can write. You just need somebody to tweak that skill. And I believe that's why you are here tonight. You need somebody to tell you how it works. Number two, a mobile phone. Every one of you hooking up to this call is using a mobile phone or a laptop to do that. And number three, data. Same thing. Everyone who is on this call is using data, to do that. So the barrier to entry is very, 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 very low. Meanwhile, the demand is very high. Okay, unlike other skills, and with all due respect to the gurus like Noni here, unlike tech skills, you basically need a laptop. You need a lot of practice and skill, but you don't really need as much as that when it comes to writing.
It's actually right, and you are right.
Okay. And number two, it's easy to stand out in a crowded market by niching down. So when you come into writing, there's something I see with writers. When you go to Upwork, everybody's a copywriter, right? Everybody's a copywriter. Everybody is a content writer. Everybody's a direct response, an email copywriter, and so on and so forth. The problem is you won't make much money that way. The riches are in the niches. If you are taking notes, please write that down. The riches are in the niches. So when I got into writing, I got in there and saw that everybody was a direct response copywriter. By the way, I can kill it when it comes to copywriting. But then I realized that there's another industry that is basically untapped, and that's YouTube script writing. Okay, faceless YouTube script writing. There are lots of YouTube channels. YouTube and Google basically controls the 96% of the search engine market in the world globally. So every one of you who wants to search for something or learn for something, the first thing that comes to your mind is Google. And if it is video content, you want to first of all run to YouTube. By the way, YouTube is not social media, right? YouTube is a search engine. So I discovered that this is a very big opportunity. Some of the clients I work for make as much as $100,000 per month, $200,000, $500,000 per month, right? So, and they are making all this money from YouTube. They are making this entire money from YouTube. Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber on the planet. He is so rich that he also made a bid to buy TikTok. How wealthy do you have to be to have enough money to buy TikTok? I think what the bid was about $20 billion. How wealthy do you have to be? And this guy just basically does YouTube. Mr. Beast does only YouTube. That tells you that there's a lot of money in YouTube. The problem is, how do you position yourself? What is going to be your entry point? So if you don't have the big capital to run YouTube automation, because it's costly, it's expensive, right? If you don't have the money to run YouTube automation, so what are you going to do? You are going to look for an entry point, right? You are going to look for an entry point where what part of the market has the lowest barrier to entry that I can enter into and make a lot of money. And for me, that was script writing. Okay, it's the same thing as writing blogs, it's the same thing as writing LinkedIn posts. But the difference is that there are lots of, clients out there. You can just simply go to YouTube, check on a page, look for the email of the owner of the channel, see the page is doing fine, and then shoot a mail and just pitch yourself and get a job. As simple as ABC. Instead of killing yourself on Fiverr and Upwork. By the way, I've gotten a lot of money and I've gotten a lot of clients from Upwork, by the way, too. Okay, it's great too. A lot of my long-term clients have come from Upwork. It's great to do that. And you are going to be learning a lot about Upwork in this cohort as well. So number 3 is an easy way to earn foreign currency, right? On Upwork, in 2023 alone, Upwork reported over $3.8 billion. Let me say that again. $3.8 billion earned by freelancers across 10,000 plus skills, with writing consistently ranking among the top categories due to its versatility. So just think about that. In Upwork alone, we are not talking about Fiverr, we are not talking about what do you call it, people per hour and all those other places, not LinkedIn. We are talking about Upwork alone. Upwork reported over $3.8 billion earned by freelancers, and writing was in the top category that brought people earnings. So let's get down and talk just a little bit about content writing. Okay, so what is content writing? Okay, content writing is the art of curating words for the purpose of connecting with an audience. Now, the point is that the internet has changed everything, okay? Since the advent of the internet, the whole world changed. And the internet is basically 2 things, okay? Back end and front end. People like Noni and the tech guys work on the back end, okay? That's where you have codes, and UI, even UI UX is still front end because it's something we can see. But the hidden things behind the scene that controls the entire internet that we don't see is the back end. Usually that's where a lot of tech guys, some of the tech guys will play in that field. But then there's the front end. And get this, the front end of the internet is 100% content. Can I say that again? So the back end is codes.
Okay.
Yeah, the back end is codes, but the front end is content. So what is content? Pictures, videos, audios, and words, written words, right? So think about any other thing you know on the internet is made up of these four things. It's either is in picture format, in audio format, in video format, or it's in words, right? So the entire internet, the entire front end of the internet is made up of content. It's made up of content, and that's the reason why content marketing or content creation seems to be the new oil in our day. Okay, talk about people like Brain Jotter, Mr. Macaroni, Mr. Funny, and all those guys. They are killing it and they are making their money. Okay, so if you know how to create content, you will consistently know how to make money. Okay, and when we talk about content, writing itself makes up about 25% of the entire content you have on the internet. When I say 25%, I'm not talking about in quantity, I'm talking about, in segments. So we have videos, pictures, audios, and written words. So that's 4, and then writing takes 1 part. That's 25%, right? So types of content writing. We have copywriting. This is where you persuade with words, the art of persuading with words. So this is an area I based in. I'm a certified high ticket closer. I'm a certified sales and marketing expert. I'm a certified copywriting expert. So when it comes to selling with words, that is an area that I am particularly good at. So copywriting is basically selling in print. So instead of sitting with somebody over a Zoom call or over a one-on-one call, you write a number of words to sell to the person. And so copywriting is basically persuasion. And there's a difference between convincing and persuading, but that's for another day. Convincing is not persuasion. Copywriting is the art of persuasion, not the art of convincing. And when we say convincing, we mean getting somebody to do something you want for your own benefit, and you want them to do it the way you want. But persuasion is finding out something someone already wants to do, but they are not sure they want to do it. So you are getting them from point A to point B. Point A being where they don't want to be, and point B being where they want to be, using your words to do that, right? And then number 2, we have blog post writing. And that's basically all the posts you see on what's that called? That site now. There's one popular Nigerian blog like that. Not Niger Loaded. Well,
Linda
Ikeji's blog. But Linda Ikeji's blog is actually a video blog. I'm talking about, written blogs. Legit Niger, Naira Land.
Okay.
Yeah, all those kind of places. So all those articles you see, even on what do you call the name now, Opera Mini, you will always see articles posted on Opera Mini news. Those are some kind of blogs. So when you click on them, it takes you somewhere. You read news, you read all kind of things. They are blogs. Then we have ebook writing. There are so many. Ebook writing, YouTube script writing, or video script writing, what's called VSL, video sales letter. Okay, and then we have social media posts. So many things. So what are the benefits of content writing? It can be done remotely, number 1. So you don't have to be I've worked with companies in Europe, America, all over the world. I've worked with companies all over, in almost all the continents, right? And I've not been there. I've not been to many of those places. I've traveled outside the country, but I haven't been to many of those places. Okay, so the benefit of content writing is that it can be done remotely. Number 2, you can work basically just 2 hours in a day, and you still earn much more than 9 to 5 hours, right? You still earn more than what I make sometimes in a week is way more than what many assistant directors in the Federal Civil Service make in a month. And I'm not kidding. Basically just from writing. Okay? And number 3, you can build an incredible portfolio from it. You can build an impressive portfolio. It's a thing to brag about when you tell people, look, I've worked with this company in Dubai, I worked with that company in Greece, I worked with the other company in Italy, I work with the other company, and all of these people have one or two great things to say about you. They have testimonials and review to say about you. So when you're selling yourself to an organization in Nigeria or any other place for that matter, you can just pull out your portfolio, pull out your CV and say, this is who I am. And you can easily impress that way. All right. Are you guys still with me? If you're still with me, let me know you're with me.
Oh, yes, we are with you right now.
Yeah. Are you learning a lot? Are you enjoying the lecture?
Definitely, we are.
Yes, amazing.
Am I making an impression?
It's mind
That's good.
blowing. Yeah, sure.
I love that. I love that. All right. So what do you need to be, to get started with content writing or to be a great content writer? You basically need three things. Number one, you need the right skill. So just basically pick an aspect of writing and focus on it. So for that, you need somebody to coach you. You need somebody to show you what works versus what doesn't work. Here's the problem with many Nigerians. You will say, I will go to Google. Well, good luck. Okay? Good luck. I'll go to YouTube. Good luck. The problem with YouTube is that, and Google and AI and all of those things, is that you have a lot of junk. There are lots of ideas, lots of information, but very few people can tell you what works. Okay? What works versus what doesn't work. I wish I knew some of this thing earlier on in my career. There are things that just don't work, and you don't have to bother yourself about those things. So you need the right skill, and you need somebody to show you what works, what doesn't work, so that you don't waste your time. Number two, you need the right platform. So decide how you want to get clients, either through social media. By the way, you can get clients through social media. I've done that. I've gotten clients from social media. You can use job boards like Upwork, Fiverr, People Per Hour, and all of and the likes like that. You can also use cold emailing tactics. This is going to be great if you are already a copywriter. Okay, especially if you are an email copywriter, if you know how to sell to people using email, it's going to be fantastic. You understand personalized first lines and all of those things like that. So you can easily use that to, just reach out to people directly through email, or go to Twitter, look for the creators or the people you want to work with. Basically, just target them, then harvest their emails and put them in a file and start sending cold emails to them. There's a way to do that. And I believe some of you are going to benefit from that. I'm going to be teaching some of you when the time comes how to do some of these things. And number three thing you need is just learn how to sell yourself. Generally learn how to sell yourself. I had the opportunity in that, by the grace of God and the way God positioned my way and how things worked, I learned how to sell myself first before I learned how to sell my skills. And I didn't know. Okay? I didn't even know that was what God was doing for me. So all those times I was learning sales and marketing, direct response, advertising, high ticket closings, sales and marketing, branding. All those times I was learning all those things. I didn't know I was learning how to sell myself. So when I got the skill, it was very easy for me, very, very easy for me to sell myself to the client. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they want to write a proposal, they just start blabbing and yapping, and you can tell that this person doesn't know where he's going to, he doesn't know where it's coming from, it sounds robotic, it sounds non-human. You are needy, you are begging, you are desperate for a job. Okay, if you know how to sell yourself, I promise you, clients will be running after you. They will literally be begging you to work for them. So these are the three things you need. So you got to learn how to, acquire the right skill. And when I say the right skill, I'm talking about also niching down. Okay, getting down to the nitty gritty. Saying I'm a content writer is not good enough. A million other people are content writers. What separates you from other content writers? What aspect of content are you focusing on? Okay. And then number two, the right platform, choose the right platform. In this case, Upwork is a fantastic platform, and we are going to be specifically focusing and zeroing in on Upwork. And then number 3, learn how to sell yourself. So where do you find clients? You find clients on Upwork, Fiverr, Telegram groups, Discord servers, social media groups, Twitter, Facebook, and on, codes, email, and the rest of them. Now, I believe I have a couple of people here, about 2 or 3 of them. I would like them to share their story. I should have Casey here, I should have Samuel, and I should have Samson here. These are 3 people that, are we still together, guys?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, we are together.
Right. These are 3 people that I would like maybe 1 or 2 of them to share their experiences about writing, and let them tell you what writing has done for them, where it took them from. Please, let's find out if Casey is in the house. Can the moderator please help me?
Okay. Hello, Casey. Are you here, please?
Is Casey here?
What's the next person name?
Samuel. We also have Samuel.
Samuel, please. Are you here?
Yeah. Samuel or Samson. If any one of them is here, let them.
Samuel, please,
Casey's
if you are here.
I'm
you
here.
Can...
Oh, right, great.
Okay,
Casey
it's a nice one. You can talk to us. Thank you.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, Casey, you are welcome. He's a content writer, and I would just like him to share 1 or 2 things that content writing has done for him, how he has been able to, basically scale financially and otherwise with content writing. You have the floor, please.
Okay, thank you so much. A whole lot of people are looking for opportunity. For me, I was in a very difficult place, and it seemed like content writing came looking for me. All my life, I've never wanted to write. All I've wanted to do was to speak. So I've been chasing public speaking. But I was into agriculture, fish farming precisely, and I lost a couple of millions, and that got me in a very hard place. I was trying to get back into the business. I had my family to take care of. What I needed at that moment was a way to sustain my family and pay the debt that was on my neck. So I spoke with Sunday. I was a kind of having a discussion with him, thinking of what I could do or things that were easier for me to do until I'm able to get back on my feet. And one of the things he suggested was I should get into writing. And I laughed so loud because I hated writing. But he told me I could do it. In that I didn't have much of a choice, I decided to give it a try. I got into writing. The first thing he did was he didn't coach me, first of all. He gave me a work to do. And he kind of pointed 1 or 2 things I could do to make it work. So I started writing that script around 8 a.m. in the morning. I was done to 11 in the night on a stretch. All I did was to stretch my body, have my lunch. I didn't even have my dinner. And I was done with that script. When I was done, I submitted. It was perfect. There was no complaint. But I was kind of wondering, how will I be able to cope with this kind of a thing? In that it took me all day. I didn't know there was more waiting for me. So I started doing a couple of work with him. After a while, he suggested I take his course, and that was where the explosion happened. I learned a whole lot of stuff. Now, I can comfortably write a script within an hour, 2 hours. And I don't mean a script that pays you 2 naira. I mean you're paid well for what you do. There are other scripts, YouTube script writing or content writing are in categories. There are different categories. But I've gotten so good with this that there is hardly a script on net that you get to give to me that I can handle. I have learned to write using AI. I've learned to write using YouTube, using Google and all that. But the craziest part is that this thing makes you really creative. And it gets to a time that you get to ask yourself, like, am I really being paid for what I'm doing? Because it's so easy over time. The question is, where am I financially now? The point is, with the little I've done in the past few years, I have hit a couple of millions. And while I was in fish farming requires millions to get into. You want to get into fish farming, you want to do it where you're looking at 5 to 10 million for a starter. And if you want to do it large, you're looking at 50 to 100 million. But this didn't cost me anything. All I needed to do was to just take that course. And that was the capital I needed, my phone, my data, and all that. And what I make in a month is very sustaining and comfortable. Then another crazy part about it is that you can also scale. There is no limit to what you can become. I have heard of writers who make as much as $100,000 in a month. So there is no limit to what you can become. And the most powerful thing I want to say is that there are a whole lot of teachers who or coaches who want you to learn a particular skill, but what they're really after most of the times is how to make you buy their course and make money. But Sunday followed me. He didn't just coach me, he taught me. We did this thing together. You know, he held me by the hand step by step and we learned. Sunday's the kind of person who wouldn't forsake you or leave you. You know, if I'm permitted to say this, him and I have been friends for almost 20 years. And I can tell you the kind of person he is. He's a person of character and you can count on anything he tells you. I am a living proof that there is so much you can do with his tutorship. One of the reasons why it got easier for me because I would have given up. Writing was not my thing. But one of the reasons why I kept on was the love, the attention, the care he showed me. He literally showed me everything he knew. If there's anything I don't know now, is what he's still learning. So comfortably, I can write even in heaven with the thing I know. Why? I have written for several companies, even script that does not apply to the kind of script I wrote for one company, and it's just perfect. I've gotten to that level whereby I write, I submit, there is barely any correction because of the level of training I've learned. I hate technology. I hated technology. I hated anything internet. I love to post and all that, but you know, as I started working with him, I discovered it wasn't as hard as possible. So the point is, you need a coach like him, somebody who is willing to. I think he's gifted when it comes to working with people. He can make you become much more than what you can imagine in the shortest of time. That's all I get to say for now. Thank you.
Oh, wow, your story is a good one. Your testimonials. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Amazing.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Yeah, great to have you. And thank you so much for that amazing testimonial. Okay, I don't know if we have Samson or Samuel here. If we don't, for the sake of time, if they are available, let's just take maybe one or two. If not, I will just proceed. I would also like to show you screenshots, but like one of my friends said, he said his tax attorney has advised him not to post screenshots of his earnings online. So that's the only reason I would not share some of them with you. And if you notice, some people are being cautious about sharing financial figures. So that's the only reason. By the way, I was speaking with, what's his name? Raymond Dijoma. And he told me that his financial advisor asked him not to post his financial figures online. It could be detrimental to you one way or the other. So that's the only reason I will not be posting any of that. But I believe with the physical testimonials you have here, you can tell that writing is something lucrative. So maybe I should just go ahead since nobody, they are not here yet. Okay.
All right, you can proceed maybe while we wait for them to join.
Amazing. All right. Okay. Sorry, please. Let me share this properly. Are you guys still with me?
Yes, we're here.
All right. So I
I'm
want
here.
to talk to you about a special offer we have for you, and that is the content writing launchpad, right? This is a special offer for a few of us here. Believe you me, it's not for everybody because I know not everybody is going to either have the opportunity, have the means to take this opportunity. Let me tell you the truth. I'm going to start by telling you the truth. We are sharing this, webinar with you, and we are doing this because we want to sell something to you. You must have had a lot of coaches say, hey, it's free, I don't want to sell anything to you. No, I'm starting off by telling you now, we want to sell something to you. And if you feel that you are not up to buy anything, I think now will be the right time to leave the call. Now will be the right time to leave the call. So you've already learned what content writing is. You can go and do some research, practice, get some materials from Google, get some materials from YouTube, get some materials from AI, and practice, and then learn how to land clients by yourself. And hopefully by 2065, you will land your first client. That was just a joke. But I'm saying that to say that this offer, and the offer is not going to be cheap, right? It is not going to be cheap, but it will be affordable. And aside from being affordable, it will be an offer you are not going to regret. It's going to be something that you are going to get, and it's going to change your life. Let me tell you guys something. I learned copywriting with 3,000 naira back then, 2020 or so. The person I paid to teach me copywriting, I paid 3,000 naira. Can you imagine that? But I just told you that I've done close to $30,000 just from writing alone. Can you match the value? And let me tell you the truth, right? When I paid $3,000, it was like 3 million to me. Let me tell you the fact. Okay, it was like 3 million to me. But I did it anyway. So here's what I'm trying to say. Today we are going to be making a special offer for only a few people, just a few people. And that's the content writing launchpad. And it's a special content writing cohort. The question you might be asking is, what is inside this cohort? What are you going to be gaining? What are you going to be having? So first of all, you will have access to 5 digital skills. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one is my course, and it's called Persuasive Selling Secrets. It is the only copywriting course you will ever need. If you take the course on copywriting, if you take this course, Persuasive Selling Secrets, I can guarantee you will learn everything you need to learn about the fundamentals of copywriting. Every other thing is just improvement as you practice, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to be getting. Number 2, you are going to be getting we are going to be getting a live training from me, by the way, and we are going to be titling that live training Write Like a Pro. And we are going to be sharing with you everything you need to know, the fundamentals of content writing. Okay, content writing. Number 3, you'll be getting the Google Workplace Productivity course, where you will learn every tool you need to be a successful remote worker. The entire Google suite, the Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google whatever, all the Google things, right, that you need to be an effective remote worker. So you are going to be getting that in this package. Number 4, you will also be learning project management tools, which will enable you to or which will be able to position you to bid for jobs, to do the function of a project manager. So you'll be learning Asana, Trello, ClickUp, what else? Many of those project management tools out there. Project management.
Don't worry, you can continue. We are all in Africa, in Nigeria. We can't hear you. Sunday, we can't hear you. Okay.
Oh, so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, so sorry. My mic went off. So let me start back from where we're talking about the Google Workplace productivity course. I believe you had all that. Okay, project management tools. So you'll be learning Asana, Trello, ClickUp, and all the things you need to effectively handle project management. And then finally, you'll be getting Upwork mentorship from how to set up your account, how to optimize your profile, how to create a killer portfolio, how to write drop dead proposals, that is proposals that the clients can't say no to. Okay, you are going to be learning all of these things and more. Now, you would think that's all. That's not all. So you'll be asking yourself, what more could there be aside these 5 courses? You'll be having access to 2 bonus materials, and I'm even going to be throwing more in here, by the way. It's not in my slide, but I just decided now I'm going to be adding more bonuses for you guys. So, and that is going to be building a professional portfolio, how to position your work to attract more clients. Number 2, you are going to be getting digital payment solutions. So you are going to be learning how to create payment accounts, how to receive your payment. One of the things you might have problem with as a remote worker is international payments. That can be, after you have worked for 1 week, 30 days, and it's time to collect your pay, and you are being frustrated. Then that's when you know how disadvantaged we are in Nigeria. Okay, many of the international payment solutions don't work in Nigeria. TransferWise does not work in Nigeria. PayPal does not work in Nigeria. Stripe does not work in Nigeria. So, but the question is, how can I go about these things? How do those of us who already do remote work go around these things? And if you want to pay somebody to set up a PayPal account for you, I believe it's somewhere within 25 to 30K, right? Many of those PayPal coaches online, I'm not talking about people who charge you 2,000, 3,000. Those are people who are hungry. They just want to collect your money. Okay. Some of them charge as much as 25 to 30K to create a functioning PayPal account for you. But we are going to teach you how to get your international account in such a way that you will not have problems with receiving payments. Now you ask yourself, what are the extra bonus I said I will be giving to you? I won't announce them now. Those extra bonus will be for a specific special set of people. Okay, so the big question you'll be asking yourself is, how much does a valuable cohort like this cost? I'd like to open the lines. Can somebody tell me how much you think this costs? Let me hear from what people. Thanks. Guys, talk to me.
We want to hear from you guys. If you want to talk, you can unmute your mic.
I'm waiting for you guys. How much do you think this is going to cost?
Someone should say something. Good evening, Sunday.
Good evening. Hello.
I'm Rachel.
All right, Rachel, good to meet you. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. So what do you think, Rachel? How much do you think this is going to cost?
Okay, let's do with 30K.
Whoa. 30K, amazing. All right, that's fair. Somebody else want to say something? Someone else? All right, let me ask another question before I proceed. How many of you think you need this cohort? If you need this cohort, show by raising up your hand. If you admit that you need this cohort, if you admit that you need it, I can see Cynthia Morrow, Blessing. Whoa, the hands are going up so fast. 7, wow. Amara, Osana, Ogada, Sochima, Emmanuel Okafor, Eunice, Ofwese, Grace Imo, Tangie Ward, Rachel, Esiaba Favor, Osozu, quite a number of people, right? Quite a number of people. So I love that. So you agree and you admit that you do need this cohort. And how many of you, if it is within your power, right? If funds were not to be a problem and it is something you can dedicate the next 30 days to, maybe 30 to 40 days, and you are going to give it all the time you have, seriously commit to learning, to practicals, to implementing everything that you are going to be taught. How many of you can give it the time that it requires to learn? Because it's one thing for people to pay for classes, it's another thing for people to actually go through those course contents or attend classes. Then the craziest part is that some people pay for the courses, they don't attend classes, and when they even attend, they don't implement. So how many of you think that you are going to dedicate the next 30 to 40 days to learn and implement like crazy, as if your life depends on it? If you think you are going to be able to do that, let me see your hands as well. Let me see your hands. Oh, the hands are going up fast. I can see Faith. Yeah, lots of hands, lots of hands. I love that. I love that. So amazing. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give extra bonuses for those who I feel are going to be serious in the class, and those bonuses are going to help you practice, implement, and keep yourself to a regiment of learning. Okay, so the big question then becomes, how much does this cohort, how much will a cohort like this cost? You might think it's 200,000, 150,000, 120,000. Somebody even said 30,000. Okay, the point is, it's not 200,000 and it's not 30,000. It's lower than 200,000 but higher than 30,000. So for an investment of how much? 110,000 naira only. 110,000 naira only. You are going to get the full package. By the way, the persuasive selling secrets course alone is what, about 20K. And I have some affiliates. Some of the people who are my affiliates who sell those courses for me could even be online now. We have Write Like a Pro, the content writing class, is going to be another 20K. The Google Workplace is 10K. Project management tools, 10K. And then the biggest of all is the Upwork mentorship, because that's what guarantees that you make money. And that alone is 50,000 naira. And I know that Noni takes a number of one-on-one clients and some group clients. You can ask those people who have taken it how much they paid for it. Okay. However, for a special offer for fast action takers, those who are going to be paying now, if you pay now, as we are talking now, if you pay 20,000 naira now, the door is going to be opened for you. Just 20,000. And by the way, 20,000 is less than the price of a very good power bank. And I'm sure almost everyone on this call has a power bank. So for 20,000 naira only, we are going to be giving you access. And by the way, like I said, 20,000 naira for this call only, for those who are paying now. For those who are paying now. Those who are paying now. After that, we are going to revert the price back to 50,000, because that's where the price is pegged at. So for fast action takers, the cohort is going to be going for an entry fee of 20,000 naira. And those who pay now, if you pay now, the first 10 people to pay now, the first 10 people, just 10 people to pay now, I'm going to be giving you access to my book, 5 Ways to Make Money Online. I'm going to be giving you access to another of my books, Shut Up and Take My Money, where I talk about how to create offers, how to make it impossible for people to say no to your offers, how to sell anything. So I'm going to give you access to my book, Shut Up and Take My Money. Second one is 5 Ways to Make Money Online. And I'm thinking if I should give you the other one. How many of you know Joseph Don? How many of you know Joseph Don? I had a very important session with him some time ago. I'm going to be also adding that session. That session, I don't give it out. It's an important session. It was a session between myself and him where I was asking him some questions and learning some things from him. But I recorded it, and I think you can learn 1 or 2 things from that. So for those 10 people who paid now, today, the first 10 people, only those 10 people will get access to those 3 things. 5 Ways to Make Money Online, Shut Up and Take My Money, and my one-on-one session with Joseph Don. So the next logical question is, where do I pay to? I want you to take a screenshot of the screen you have right now. Take a screenshot, make payments to Kuda Bank, Chinonso Chukwu 201-889-7500. 201-889-7500. Please, when you do that, I'm waiting for those who are going to do that now. If you do that now, I only have space for 10 people now. If you send the money now, and I would like Noni to please send me a message the moment we receive those people. Noni, please let me know when we receive those 10 people, and then
Okay.
I will make that available, and then I'll stop from there.
I
hope you guys had a great session.
Okay, I have someone on my DM now. She's located in the US and she's asking how to make payments. So I already gave her the procedures on how to make her payments now. She's the first person to be on my DM. Yeah, she's from she stays in the US.
Amazing. So we have the first person. That means there are 9 slots left now. Just 9 slots. Just 9 people. If we have the next 9 people, I'm going to give out those materials. And I'm going to send my assistant is going to, for those 10 people as well, those 10 people who are making payments today, I'm going to get my assistant to my assistant is going to send you some messages when Noni forwards your details to me. So you're going to have access to an accountability partner. Somebody's going to ensure that you follow through with the course and you implement, okay? And I'm going to have a one-on-one, no, not a one-on-one, a group call with just those 10 people where you can ask me any question about content writing and freelancing, any question. And if you're already into freelancing, into content writing, and you're having a problem, whatever it is, just let me know and I'll work with you hands-on to resolve that problem and ensure that you are back in the game. So my assistant is going to reach out to just those 10 people. So we have somebody's asking how much is the training. The training is 50,000, but it is 20,000 for the first 10 people, and 1 slot has been taken. We have 9 slots.
We have
Somebody from the US just
slots has been taken. We
2 slots have been taken.
That is who was the person that Rachel, she said her name is Rachel.
Amazing. 2 slots taken now. So we have just 8. Just 8. So for the person who was asking for the price of the cohort is 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira. I think I should do that in the slides. I don't know. I don't want to stop. Okay. Let's do that. Guys, are you with me? 20K and we are good to go. If you pay 20K now, you will receive my session with Joseph Don, my one-on-one session with Joseph Don. You will also receive my book, shut up and take my money. You will receive that right away. Shut up and take my money. And you will receive another of my book, 5 Ways to Make Money Online. 5 Ways to Make Money Online. Okay? 5 ways to make money online. So you have access to those 3 things. Then my assistant is going to reach out to you, and we are going to have a group meeting where I will answer all your questions and help you sort out your problems when it comes to freelancing. So, Noni, I think I'm going to yield the mic now and leave the stage for you. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys had a nice time, and I hope you learned 1 or 2 things.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So, am I permitted to share my contacts just in case people want to talk with me and ask me 1 or 2 questions?
Oh,
Yes, please.
And go ahead.
All right. So please take it down if you are writing. 090 75 96 11 70. 090 75 96 11 70. I believe you got that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was nice having this session with you, and I hope to see you guys on the other side. I can't wait to see you there.